The administration's attempt to deprive our children of a quality of education is reckless, wrong, and immoral.
My administration stripped the security clearances of the disgraced intelligence agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. We revoked the clearances of Deranged Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, and the crooked law firms that aided their partisan persecutions.
And we're back. Thank you all for tuning in today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out, and of course, it helps you too because it helps us keep bringing you great content. Now, as you can see from the preview clips, we've got a major showdown between Donald Trump and Letitia James, and it's heating up. From where I stand, it looks like someone's going to have to tap out soon. Letitia James has been on the offensive, filing lawsuit after lawsuit against Trump at every turn. Every move he makes, she's there launching a new legal battle. Now, here's the thing: thanks to the way the judicial system is set up, Letitia James and other state attorneys general have managed to stop or at least delay many of Trump's actions. But make no mistake, Donald Trump is not backing down. He's got his team in place, Pam Bondi and others, and he's ready to go on the offensive. He hasn't explicitly said it, but you can definitely read between the lines. He plans to go after the people who've been coming after him. We're going to play a clip from just a few days ago where Letitia James talks about her latest lawsuit against Trump. And if you're watching the B-roll of her, you might think, isn't this the same footage we've seen before? Well, it kind of looks the same, but it's actually new. She just has a thing for that style, I guess. After that, we'll follow it up with a response from Donald Trump, where he essentially says, "The days of legal warfare are over. I'm the president now, and I've got my team to help me out." Before we dive in, though, I just want to thank everyone for their continued support. We've hit 100,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. And please, share this video with someone. Send it through text, WhatsApp, or post it on Facebook. Alright, let's get into it.
Thank you so much. It truly is an honor and a privilege to be here with my colleagues, because defunding the Department of Education will harm millions of American students. And this is what the Trump administration is trying to do by gutting the Department of Education. This effort will make it harder for students to learn and get the well-rounded education they deserved. And that's why my colleagues and I are fighting back. We filed our lawsuit to put a stop to the mass layoffs and cuts to the Department of Education that this administration is trying to carry out, because we know that these cuts are aimed to end the agency as a force for good and for student access. Dismantling the Department of Education would be devastating for the over 50 million K through 12 students across this country. Over 50 million children are in its crosshairs. It is their education that is at stake here. Here in New York, our K through 12 schools received over $6 billion from the Department of Education last year. And as a proud product of New York Public Schools, I will fight to ensure they receive the support that our millions of students deserve. Additionally, New York college students receive more Pell Grants than almost any other state. The most vulnerable students, those who come from low-income families or have special needs, will be the most impacted by these cuts. Department of Education funds ensure that students with special needs have teachers and local workers that can support them. They provide more resources for schools that serve low-income populations, and they support schools in rural areas that often lack sufficient staff and resources. The Department of Education also defends the rights and safety of every student. The Office of Civil Rights protects students from discrimination and sexual assault, and firing staff that work in this office would put students in danger. The Trump administration's efforts to eliminate the Department of Education are not only wrong, they are illegal. And the president does not have the power to dismantle an agency that Congress established by law. And the president cannot cut off funds that Congress appropriated with a stroke of a Sharpie. The administration's attempt to deprive our children of a quality of education is reckless, wrong, and immoral. And just as we have done with their other destructive policies, we're going to put a stop to it. Because for all of us, this is just another day of chaos, confusion, and contempt of government. And we won't allow it. I thank Attorneys General Bonta, Campbell, and Lopez, and all of our colleagues who have joined in this lawsuit for their partnership in this effort to protect students and our schools and our educators and the many millions of families who rely on them each and every day. Today, I know we will protect our students, and today I stand with my colleagues in support of the rule of law. Thank you.
There could be no more heinous betrayal of American values than to use the law to terrorize the innocent and reward the wicked. And that's what they were doing at a level that's never been seen before. And it's exactly what you saw with Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, and their cronies to do the building of the last 4 years. What they've ripped down is incalculable. But what you're going to build up is likewise something that will be breaking all sorts of records. They set loose violent criminals while targeting patriotic parents at school board meetings. They dropped charges against Antifa and Hamas supporters while labeling traditional Catholics as domestic terrorists. The Catholics, we did very well with the Catholic vote, so I want to thank them for that. They really did, record numbers. I would say, what's with the Catholics? They're really after the Catholics, so I don't know. They were after a lot of people. Maybe they didn't even know why. They imported illegal alien murderers, drug dealers, and child predators from all over the world to come into our country while putting elderly Christians and pro-life activists on trial for singing hymns and for saying prayers. They went to jail for that. Our predecessors turned this Department of Justice into the Department of Injustice. But I stand before you today to declare that those days are over, and they are never going to come back. They're never coming back. So now, as the chief law enforcement officer in our country, I will insist upon and demand full and complete accountability for the wrongs and abuses that have occurred. The American people have given us a mandate and really a far-reaching investigation is what they are demanding into the corruption of our system. And that's exactly, I'm sure, what Pam and Cash and everyone else mentioned here and not mentioned is going to be doing. We will expel the rogue actors and corrupt forces from our government. We will expose and very much expose their egregious crimes and severe misconduct, of which was levels you've never seen anything like it. It's going to be legendary. It's going to also be legendary for the people that are able to seek it out and bring justice. We will restore the scales of justice in America, and we will ensure that such abuses never happen again in our country. And that's why on day one, I signed an executive order banning all government censorship and directing the removal of every bureaucrat who conspired to attack free speech and many other things and values in America. My administration stripped the security clearances of the disgraced intelligence agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. We revoked the clearances of Deranged Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, and the crooked law firms that aided their partisan persecutions. And I went through it. These are state and city courts, and the corruption is unbelievable. We also terminated the clearances of the Biden crime family and Joe Biden himself. He didn't deserve it. In fact, he was essentially found guilty, but they said he was incompetent, and therefore let's not find him guilty, I guess. Nobody knows what that ruling was, but I didn't want any part of it. I think I would have rather been found guilty than what they found with him.